Hello, welcome to this presentation. My name is Morris Dimba. Today we are going straight to rebar placement in columns and beams. Get started here. Rotate about that point. That's our staircase. That is our staircase from that end. And this is our staircase from that end. Now what is remaining is rebar placement in columns and beams. We will press Ctrl 2. Delete those cons. Go to application and components, and application and components. Get to continuous rebar reinforcement. Double click on that. Close that. Under this dialog box, we have beams, columns, attributes, main top, and the rest. We will click the first beams we want to link up with the columns. We'll select that beam. We will select this beam and that beam. And go next. We will select columns which the beams we've selected are linking up with. Press Ctrl and select that. Click that and click next. Under attributes, we have main top bars, main bottom bars, ties or startups, additional top bars which we don't really need. Now, under main top bars, we will select the sizes of steel we require. We will use this standard. Under T460, we will pick size 16 as our main bar. Click that. For bottom bars, under that spec, we will pick size 16 as our main bottom bar. We will go to startups. Under this 460, we'll pick size 12 as our tie or startups. Our prefixes will be Y, Y, Y. Okay. Main top bars, bend length will reduce to 100. Reduce this bend length to 100. Bottom bend length also to 100. Number of bars are 3. Startups, bend types are 4 here. We'll go with the first. Startup spacing, we'll work with symmetric. Center to center spacing, we'll work with 200. 200. Let's fit 200. There we are. Additional top bars we don't need. We will use this for all. Don't uncheck that. Click finish and cancel that. Dialog box off the screen. We don't need these additional bars. These additional bars we don't need. We'll remove them. Don't need that additional bars. Don't need this. Rotate. Click at this point and rotate. Want to adjust this length. Give it 3300. Rotate. Click it there. You can readjust this. Three, 200. Put 2 there. Go to navigation, rotate. Right click. Put that 3. Take it back to 3. There you are. The other end. Put 150. Put 150. Apply and accept. Rotate, click at that point, turn around, check what we've actually done. Click on startups. Use those hooks. This is the best. Apply. Okay. We will go to this beam, go to application and components, go to continuous beam reinforcement, close that. Pick that. Once you pick this, we are picking this alone because we don't want to conflict with this beam. Click next. Select the columns that this beam link up with. It links up with this column and this column. Click next. Same way, we will go to T460 as our best standard. Under that, we'll pick main bar size 16, main bottom bar as size 16. Go there. For startups, pick size 12. Prefix Y. Main bottom bar, we will adjust that to 200. Adjust that to 100. Same to this, from 200 to 100. Startups, symmetrical, 200. Center to center, 200. Change that to that. Nothing else you want to add, and click finish. Close that. Delete these additional bars. Delete all of them. Change that. Change this to 200. Don't need clashes. 150. Okay. Place this 150. Change this to 150. Okay. Accept that. This end we've already changed. $150, everything. Now we come to this. Click this column. We'll rectify this later on. Go to application and components, double click on that, close it down, click on individual beams, click on individual beams, click next, click on the columns that links them up, which links them up. that, press Ctrl, click that, and this. Let's go all the way to that point. Click next. Under attributes, change all those as we did previously as main bar. Pick that as main bar. Pick that as startup. Go to that, adjust to 100 to 100. Those bend length, reduce them to 200 to 200. We'll use symmetric, yes. 200 center to center. Go to application and components, double click on that. We'll close that down. Select on that column. Click next. Click on that. Control, click on that. Next. Choose sizes. That's 16 size for main bar. 2460. Bottom bar as main bar. Size 12 for startup. Change that bend length to 100. That bend length to 100. Finish. This bend length to 100. Startup will use that 00, 200, 200, 200. Finish. There we are. Close that. Undo everything. Application, double click on that, close that, select the column, the beam, go next, select the individual columns that they intersect with. Control, press Control and select. Click next on attributes. Change that to that. Apply OK. application and components, bar, double click on that, close that, select the beam, click next, select the individual columns that the beam intersects with, click that, press Ctrl and select that, click next, select the steel sizes under this. We'll work with size 16 as our main bar, same for the bottom. Pick that, select, hit OK, our ties, size 12 as our startup, hit OK. Go to main bar. On main bar, bend length will reduce. We'll reduce that. Same to bottom. We'll reduce that. Startups, symmetric, yes. Center 200, 200, 200. Hit finish. Close that. Double click. Go to startup spacing. You don't need double. Don't need groups in startups. Apply. OK. We don't need extra. Don't need extra steel reinforcements. We'll reduce this to 200 or 150. Feed 150. OK. Apply. Hooks. Parameters. Feed 150. Can feed 150. If you go to hooks, you can change bend radius to 20. Here also to 20. You can leave that to 100. You can change that to that. Not right. This is presentable for us. Apply. OK. We don't need any extra steel bar. Go to that. Double click. Double click. Close that. Click on the beam. Click next. Select on the column that intersects with the beam. Press Ctrl and click. Go next. Change all this. Main bar. That's main bar. For our startups, we'll go with size 12. Main top bar, we'll just reduce that band length. Same to bottom. Startups, we'll go symmetric, center to center, 200, feed 200. We have quite a number of bend types. We will use all this spacing 200 200 for all. Hit finish, close it. Reduce this. $100, $100, $100, $100. Apply OK. You don't need any extra. Delete this. Delete that. Rotate. Click there. There we are. Click that. Go to application, double click on that. Click on this beam. Click next. We will close this. Click on columns that intersect, which intersects the beam. Click next. Change all this. Y16 under 460 spec. Y16 size 16. Click that. 12 for our startup. Our prefix Y, top, reduce that bend length to 100. Bottom, we'll reduce this to 100. Startups, put that symmetric and change this to 200. Hit finish. Close that dialog box. Rotate, click that. We will reduce that length to 100. To 100. To 100. Apply. We don't need this. We don't need these bars. Don't need these ones. Double click on that. Change this to 100. There you are. go to application, double click on that, close that, click on the beam, click next, click on the columns which are intersecting with the beam. Next, change all this. Under this, we'll select size 16 as our main bar for top. Select size 16 for bottom and size 12 for our startups. Those bends must be reduced to 100 to avoid clashing. Symmetric, yes. Change this to 200, 200, 200, 200. We'll hit finish and close this. We'll discard this and discard this. Reduce that to 150. Use that to 150. Apply, accept that. You don't need this. Double click on that. Reduce this to 150. Apply and OK. Bring this to 150. Here it is. Let's continue with the last one. Application and double click that. We will wind up here and we meet the next episode.